Well, good afternoon YouTube and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections, and today I'm excited to share with you guys a part 2 version of my ultimate smart home tour. Now, of course, I gave you one a couple months ago, and since then I've added several different devices. I just want to come through and re-record this video with a new camera I got and get your guys' take on it. Now, I'm recording in the daylight. It's a little bit of an overcast day, but there is some sunshine out, and I do have some lights on, some of the LifeX bulbs I told you about in the last video. I'm just going to walk you through some of the new things I have and some of the issues I've had, and keep this video under a half an hour, naturally because the recorder stops recording after a half hour. So let me know what you guys think about the quality once we're done with the video in the comment section. So let's begin. So welcome to my home. So first off, when you first come over to my house, I'm going to flip this around, we have a couple different things you're going to see at the front door. Okay, we have a peephole, a smart lock of course, and of course a secondary doorbell. Now, this doorbell was a great idea because it's only about $20 off eBay, and it allows me to have somebody ring the doorbell, whereas if you ring the doorbell now, you can barely hear it. But with this secondary doorbell, it actually rings to 2 different receivers, one downstairs and one upstairs. So in the event that I'm upstairs and I can't hear the doorbell, we go ahead and press that. Whoop. And we have an audible tone, and these devices actually have a blue light that flashes. So in the event that I have some music up, I can still actually hear the door ring. Coming over to the actual door itself, I've added the nice folks over at Trent over at GoKeyless.com was nice enough to sponsor a part of this video and some of my other videos with this awesome smart lock by Kwikset. And this allows me to actually use a keyless entry system, and this is a Z-Wave lock. So this will actually communicate with my SmartThings hub, and I can control the door remotely via my smartphone and check the status to make sure, geez, did I lock the front door? Oh, it is locked. Okay, so again, this is the part of it right here. Did not come with this. This is a secondary edition. And of course, to lock the door, all you do is press the lock button. It automatically locks the door, and it is secure. If we want to go into the house, of course, we'll go ahead and enter the code, which you guys are not going to see. And the door unlocks, and like so, we can enter the door. Another addition I've added by the nice folks over at Aquis. This is the View doorbell, and this is actually a smart doorbell slash intercom slash peephole. And what it does, I didn't replace the peephole that I already had in the door. I wanted to keep that just as a backup, that, you know, not dependent upon battery life, but I added it to a second hole that I've drilled in the door. And what this does, it allows you to ring the doorbell right here if you want to, for folks who know it's here. A little difficult to see behind the storm door that I have here, but this will actually ring to my cell phone, and I can answer the call just as if they were calling me on this device and communicate through the door. And if a delivery guy stops by or whatever, I can basically leave the package. There's 2-way communication, infrared motion sensing, and night vision. So I'm not going to demonstrate that one here. Just go ahead and check out my video on that. Once we enter the home, on the back side of this here, it comes with a 5-inch screen. So I'm just going to lock the door right now, and that is Z-Wave controlled as well. You can do that with your smartphone. Here you see the factory, or the peephole that I put in there years ago, just your analog or standard one. And then here is the screen that comes with it. We go ahead and press that button, and then if we want to go ahead and we're going to ring the doorbell, I can go ahead and just press the picture, and this is real-time footage from outside the door right now. I can take a picture, I can record, and like I said, if somebody does ring the doorbell, this will automatically pop into that mode, and then I can actually answer it on my phone, or I can come right to the door, and I can communicate right through the peephole with this device as well. And of course, if anybody stops by, it's programmed to take 5 pictures with 1-second motion interval. So this is a great addition to your front door to find out, you know, who stopped by, or did somebody stop by, or it's just a great security feature. Moving on to the actual downstairs in my home, you'll see on the wall here I have a 70-inch LCD smart TV, and then of course, moving on, let's talk about the lighting first before I go off on a tangent here like I normally do. Most of the lamps in this house are actually controlled by either a Z-Wave hub, by Samsung SmartThings, or by Wi-Fi bulbs. Now, I have a few different bulbs in here, so let's start with the obvious ones that I have up in the ceiling here, in the cans. And of course, this other fixture. You can see the color is set to blue right now, and you can change that with your voice by just saying, "Hey Google, change the color of the living room lights to white."
You got it, changing 3 lights to white.
And it changed the 3 lights to white because I have these 3 lights as my living room designated in the Google Smart or in the Google Home app. This way, it doesn't turn on everything in the living room. It just turns on those particular bulbs. Again, speaking about the Google Home, I have a Google Home off to the side of the table here. These 2 lamps right here, I'm using a different type of bulb. These are actually Z-Wave bulbs, and these are by a company called Senglid. Now, they do have a hub that comes with their bulbs in their entry-level starter kit that comes with 2 bulbs for only about $40. These allow you to dim up and down the bulbs and turn them on and off remotely or with your voice because they are compatible with the Google Home as well. Now, I have them running off the Samsung SmartThings hub only because I already have that device, and I didn't want to actually have to have another app and another device to turn these things on or off. So I can say, hey Google, turn on the love seat. Now, what you'll find is Google Home is very specific to what you name the devices, because if you just have a few lights, it's not going to be an issue. But for me, I have to name them specific so it knows what I'm talking about. So in my case, I have to say, hey Google, turn on the love seat lamps. And we'll see if that works.
Sure, turning on 2 lights.
And you can see those both lights came on. You can adjust the brightness of those lights if you wish. In this lamp over here, I used what's called the Samsung or a Senglid power failure bulb, and what that does is it allows you to turn the light on and off like so. It's a standard light. I wanted to have a few lights that worked with just a switch. And in the event of a power failure, this will go into a battery mode where you get up to 3 hours in about I think it's about 60% brightness powered off the battery. In this particular model, it's still in a warm white. And if the lamp was on, the power failed, it would actually go right into power failure mode. And if the power were to fail right now, the lamp would not come on. However, I could still go onto it, and with its smart sensing technology, the lamp will still operate off the switch of the device it's in. Let's talk about now the kitchen. I have the exact same bulb in the fixture up here. You can voice command that as well, either with the I won't say her name, but the Amazon Echo, which I have over on my wine rack over here. The wine rack is plugged into a Sonoff smart switch, so I could say, "Hey Google, turn off the wine rack."
You got it, turning off the wine rack.
And I can say, "Hey Google, turn on the wine rack." And like so, the wine rack comes on. Now I'm not going to demonstrate every single device that I've plugged in to, or that are controlled by either your voice or through your app, but I'll just name them off, so I don't have to demonstrate to you guys. You guys get the idea that it works with the Amazon Echo, or the Echo Dot, or any of the Amazon Echo products, and of course the Google Home. I tend to use the Google Home more than any of the other devices. That's just kind of my go-to with the voice control. Over here, I put in a dry bar that I have some RGB LEDs on those there, and they're just using an RF controller because generally I keep these lights on blue most of the time. So there's really no point in me having to have the voice command or the remote control option to change the color. I may change my mind at a later date, but right now it's easy enough just for me to come over and use the remote control. Coming over here, we have this is a Honeywell Lyric 5 T5 thermostat that you can adjust the temperature of the house remotely through your phone and through, of course, voice command. So I can say, Alexa, change the temperature to 66 degrees.
The heat's set to 66.
As you can see, the temperature has been changed, and I can go back and say, hey, Alexa, set the temperature to 65 degrees.
The heat's set to 65.
And you can see it change to 65. Next to that over here, this is a wonderful device by iWall Dock, I think it's called, .com. I forget, so many devices I have. And what this does allows you to wall mount a tablet. And an iPad mini, or the larger size iPad, allows you to wall mount that tablet. And what I like about this is right now you can see I have the LifeX app open, and this allows me to control the lights with a switch style rather than my voice. So if I don't feel like speaking out loud, I can just come over here, and as you can see, I'm just going to turn off the living room lights right now. So I'm just going to go to my group, and these are grouped to living room and upstairs and downstairs. So I'm just going to say living room. So as you can see, we press that button and the living room lights all turn off because that's part of the group. And I'm going to turn that back on again here. And we're back on. So it's a really nice way to still have control over your home with something that's not necessarily in your pocket or through your voice. Coming down over here, we just have a smart picture frame. And this device is called a Foo Bot box. And what this device does is it detects anything on your network or anything within range of your home. And so if, let's say, a cell phone's around or any wireless device is going to be picked up by this, it's going to tell you, hey, this device is near your home. It's also going to let you know when a device connects or disconnects from your network, and it shows you real-time mapping of exactly what's on your network. There are status lights on the top of this that if anything connects, it'll let you know through the status lights, and that's why I have it out in the open here, because should this thing start flashing blue or different colors, they mean different things. So it's an awesome way to not only visually control your network, but also this device will give you notifications on your phone or your tablet or whatever you have the app loaded on, and you can respond to that by either blocking internet traffic or allowing internet traffic. Shows your IP address, so it's a great way to monitor your network remotely. Next to that, you'll see this right here is the Asus Rp Ac 68U. What this is basically a Wi-Fi repeater. It'll repeat 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi signal. In my case, I'm having it broadcast on a second SSID because when you have a lot of smart devices or a lot of connected devices in your home, no matter what router you have, unless you get something that's commercial grade, you're going to have issues with dropped connections. I'm broadcasting a second signal, and basically I use some of the devices that are downstairs to connect to this device, which also connects to my main router, which I'll show you in a second. Into the kitchen, I just added some RGB LEDs underneath the cabinets here. These are just controlled with an RF controller. I will eventually change this to a Wi-Fi controller at a later date. I just wanted to make sure my network's stable before I start adding another device, because as you start getting past 50 devices, you cannot do it on, at least on the router that I have. It starts to become very unstable and you get a lot of drop connections. Now I'm not going to show you the garage, but in the garage, mounted to the ceiling, is a garage door controller called MyQ, and what that does allow me to remotely open and close my garage door with my cell phone, and it allows me to monitor whether or not I close the garage door. So in the event that I leave the house, I'm like, geez, did I close the door? I can check the phone. It'll tell me yes or no. So let's see here. We're at about 11 minutes. We're doing pretty good on time. Let's talk about the TVs and the surround system I have down here. This is my original setup, and what I did here is I have mounted on the wall, off to the side right here, I have a 5.1 Dolby Digital surround system, and this is a system by Acoustic Research. It is discontinued. I liked it so much I bought two of them, and they're on-wall flat panel speakers that sound fantastic. I have a subwoofer hidden in the corner here that I've ran the line to, and of course hidden back here because this room was a little difficult. I don't have anywhere to really put rear surround, and as you can see, I don't like to keep the room cluttered with a bunch of audio stuff. And so these were a great option for me. I have the center channel, the left and the right perfectly mounted, so if you're sitting in the love seat, that's your sweet spot. And then this is kind of a little bit different what I did here. It's not optimum, but I mounted some inexpensive, just Philips old center channels right beneath the glass table here. And what they do is they just fire up, and when you're sitting here, you have just the best surround sound you could possibly get without having to add any kind of in-wall speakers or any kind of speakers placed behind the actual table. And I didn't want to see any speakers. So this is a great way to have some hidden rear surround in your home if you don't want to keep things cluttered up. I know a lot of the guys, when I look at a lot of videos on YouTube, they talk about this makes the wife or the girlfriend happy. I'm the same way in that regard. I don't like to see a lot of speakers. I mean, I have a lot of audio equipment that's in storage just because I don't want to clutter up the living room. And as you can see, this isn't a big living room. So I like to keep it as clutter-free as possible. Now inside the cabinet there is an old school Kenwood receiver and a 200 disc changer that I got years ago. I got that thing back in '96. It's a phenomenal receiver. It is old school, but it's very clean looking. It comes with this. You guys are going to love this. This is an Indiglo touchscreen remote that the batteries are out of right now because I don't use this system all that much. And then I have a 48 Roku Smart TV by Insignia in here, which generally I'll put this on if I just want to chill downstairs and I'll put like an aquarium on there. I'll put my fireplace on and just have that as kind of like some ambiance. And what I do now is I watch TV on the Vizio. And that's great if you're going to have a game on, or not that I really watch football or any kind of stuff, but if I was going to have some guys over and go ahead and put on the fight or whatever, it'd have you have two different TVs to watch that on. Now, coming over here, this was an after the fact thing. I added this TV after I already had the in-wall cabinet because I didn't really want to add a TV to the wall, but I started sitting down in my living room so much, I wanted to get a 70. And so when I want to watch a movie just in a big format like this, or just in a big screen, I have a 70-inch Vizio Smart TV, and hidden behind the TV is a Kodi-enabled NVIDIA Shield that allows me to, whoops, sorry about that, allows me to play games and, of course, stream a lot of stuff off the internet, from Netflix to, if you don't know anything about Kodi and some of the programs you can get for that. This allows me to stream any movie I have right from my network drive, which is upstairs, and I'll show you that in a second. I'm not going to turn the TV on, but mounted beneath that is a Vizio soundbar. I did a review on this as well. Phenomenal sounding soundbar. If you're in the market for something that fits under a 70 real well and sounds just great with awesome bass, I'm telling you, check this soundbar out. You can't go wrong. And speaking of the bass, there is a hidden flat panel subwoofer underneath this couch right here. And it's great because it actually rumbles the couch a little bit too, and you feel the bass. And I have to tell you, it was one of the most impressive soundbars I've heard to date. Also with this TV, I have hidden in the tree a RM Pro back here. This is a smart remote control. And what this does allows me to voice control anything I want to program it. Within reason as far as the features, I can basically say, and I'll demonstrate this for you, hey Google. Never mind. Actually with this device, the RM Pro, cancel. The RM Pro is compatible with Alexa only. So what we're going to say is, Alexa, turn on movie mode.
Okay.
Alright, so what has happened is that command told the RM Pro to turn on the TV, to turn on the soundbar, and then dim the living room lights to 20% blue. And you can set that up to whatever you want it. So and then there you go, obviously it's on. Now I can turn it off by saying the same command, and it'll turn off the soundbar and TV, but I have it programmed just leave the lights on. Alright, so we're kind of starting to run out of time here. Let's go upstairs and check out what I got for you upstairs. Again, going throughout the house, I have in this fixture up here more LifeX bulbs. Okay? And so that one is voice controlled as well and app controlled. Coming to the window light, I have, again, one of those on-off switches. And a lot of these devices these are lights I use just to have like some, when I leave in the morning to have some extra light on, when I come home to have some on. And those are set with timers. Over here, another power failure light, so I still have an old school light in case the power does fail, that'll still work. Coming into the bedroom, let me show you this real quick. Here I have a chandelier, and I opted to keep this set up on an old school X10 device. And what this does is, being that the LEDs are so efficient, it's always on at like 10% brightness, just automatically, because the X10 devices kind of leak a little power. And so it's always on at low power. And here I have just a wall-mounted battery-operated switch, so I can still actually use this if the network goes down to control this light. And you'll see here in a second, hopefully. Turn it on. And this is the off position for this light, and you can dim that in between that as well. Coming over to the bedroom here, we have what I like to call my smart bed, basically. And so what I have here is I mounted a Wi-Fi controller and LED controller for the ambiance lights on the bed. Of course, some LifeX bulbs in these lamps, and of course a fireplace that is connected to a sawn-off device, and a ceiling fan that's also connected to a sawn-off device, and then this piece of art that I've altered with some LEDs. And all these are on Wi-Fi and voice controlled, so I can actually say through the Amazon Echo, which is over here in this case, that's been added to a, this is called the Vox by 97. This is a device that allows you to take your dot, drop it in, you get a much better speaker, and this device becomes wireless, and it operates for up to 8 hours. Same thing with the Google Home. This is another device by 97 that is a battery pack for this that allows you to actually use this for up to 10 hours wirelessly. So you can take it to your garden, take it to your backyard, your driveway, and listen to music. Next to that, we have a environment monitor by Foo Bot. This tracks any kind of particulate matter, volatile compounds, CO2, carbon dioxide in my bedroom, and gives me notifications visually through the lighting system on the front, and of course through the app. And this can actually control different things to happen in the event that the air quality becomes poor. Now in this case here, I'm not going to demonstrate that, but I will demonstrate something. I can say, hey Google, turn on the bedroom fireplace.
Okay, turning on.
Now what happens with this, the bedroom fireplace comes on, and you'll notice I have it programmed that the ceiling fan comes on, because generally when the fireplace is on, I always have the ceiling fan on. And this, I've integrated these two different smart devices, sawn-off, and this is the iHome app, I believe it's the iHome app, something like that. It allows these two different services and cloud-based platforms to communicate. So when I say turn on that fireplace, whether it's through the app or through my voice, it goes through IFTTT, if this then that, and tells the fan to turn on. So I'm just going to leave it on for a second. Now I said smart bed, and what we have here is, and I urge you to check out this video, you see this kind of little bit of bulge here? What this device is, it's called the Bed Jet. And here it is under here. And this is a heating slash cooling system that blows hot and cold air up to your bed and underneath your sheets. So if you want to cool yourself down, which is going to be great in the summertime to avoid night sweats or whatever you may get. I've been using it lately. I go back and forth. You can set this all up through the app and control it through your smartphone or through the remote they give you to really keep the temperature of your bed at a very comfortable temperature. Coming over here, you'll see I also have mounted here is a control panel, and this is an electric bed pad that I have on the bed as well. So you can control the temperature on each side of the bed. If you don't want to use the bed, this is what I used in the past. This just kind of takes the chill out of the sheets. In this lamp over here, I have another power failure bulb. Coming over to the dresser, you'll see here mounted over here, this is a Aro Side Air Filter. The folks over there were nice enough to send me that. This removes any kind of formaldehyde and volatile compounds from your air. It kills bacteria, viruses, mold, and it really makes the air quality, where you spend, for me, 8 hours a day, if not more, much cleaner in your bedroom and a lot healthier. Over to the corner, I have this is a device called the Quillo. This is a Quillo fan. Basically, this is a fan for your home that basically uses evaporative cooling technology to cool the air within about 10 degrees. I haven't tested that quite yet. And also adds humidity to the air. And what happens is it has a reservoir, and it pumps that water up to the top, and it goes down through a honeycomb radiator-like device and blows that air through that and gives you moisture in the air, and it really helps for the dry weather. When it gets really cold, when the humidity gets down to 30%, it allows you to get more moisture into the air, and also the fan's really powerful. So in the summertime, this is going to be fantastic to add a little bit of chill to the air and actually make the bedroom a lot more comfortable. Again, moving over to the art, this is all voice controlled as well. I could say, hey Google, turn off the bedroom art.
Sure, turning the bedroom.
And you see that turned off. And I was going to say, hey Google, turn on the bedroom art.
Okay,
perfect.
turning the bedroom art on.
Coming over to the vanity here, I just have a vanity. The lighting system for the vanity is just something I got from Costco years ago. I have LED lights in there, and what I did is, because there's 4 bulbs, I just added a Z-Wave Smart Switch by GE. This allows you to maintain the control of the switch. You can dim the lights up and down if you want to, but also, because this is connected to my Z-Wave hub, I can say, hey Google, turn off the bedroom vanity.
You got it, turning the bedroom vanity off.
Coming over to the bathroom here, I'm not going to show you too much here. I just have an inexpensive, basically I have a dual light fixture in here. And in one side I have a Z-Wave Smart Bulb by Sylvania, and that's voice controlled as well. And then over to the left side of it, I just leave this on. This is a Bluetooth LED speaker, and it just allows me to get a little bit of night light in the room. I leave it on, I get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. I keep it on red at night, and during the day I can turn on white or blue or whatever. I tend to like blue during the day. And this allows me, if I'm just in the tub chilling or whatever, taking a bath, I can actually I can have my phone connected to the speaker and play a little music if I don't want to drag my Google Home in there. Fantastic device. And again, you have the voice control. With that system, this is actually a remote that will control this light in here. I have that set through Samsung SmartThings, and I have it set for basically to turn on the light, turn off the light, or turn the light on at 20% brightness, and then off. So that's a great way to add a switch somewhere where you still have the ability to use a switch. We're starting to run out of time here. I'm going to start to move fast, guys, so I'm sorry. Coming into the office, again, a sewn-off switch for the fireplace, so I can voice control this fireplace as well. Over here, another Sylvania floodlight bulb, Z-Wave bulb. I have a LifeX bulb over here, so that one I can use my voice on any of this stuff and turn it on or off. Coming over to the speaker, or the my office here, or my command center, I guess, or whatever you want to call my computer. I just have a gateway computer. I don't do any kind of gaming, so this is perfect for me. I'm not going to get involved in the build on that or anything that I've done to it. I have done a few modifications. I have a Foo Bot over here, which this is an Alexa-enabled alarm clock, so you get the time and you can press it and actually give voice commands. Another smart speaker over here. I did a couple 32-inch curved scepter monitors. These are fantastic. I absolutely love them. It was well worth the money getting them. Just mounted to a quad-mounted bracket. And of course here we have a Katana Sound Blaster gaming soundbar. This thing is awesome. You have LED lighting, amazing sound decoding. This is one of the best soundbars I've heard, and you don't have to just use this for your computer. You can use this for your TV, and I wish they marketed this device as just a soundbar also for your TV, because it sounds phenomenal. This would be a great addition to your TV if you're looking for a soundbar. And then the desk, I have some RGB mounted to the top portion of pipe there, holding up the glass. Gives a little bit of glow here, and I have just a couple of cheap, inexpensive LEDs in that light fixture as well. The bathroom here, I did have one of those bulbs, but it just burned out, so I got to get a replacement. Nothing too fancy, just a 32-inch TV on the wall with the Google Chromecast, so I can actually cast directly to this TV from the computer if I want to, or if I want to throw on Netflix, it's really easy for me to do so if I'm working in here, just want some background music on or whatever, background stuff off YouTube. And then coming over to the network closet, I didn't show you the system in here. I've added a 5.1 Dolby Digital in-wall speaker system, which was really inexpensive, and it's set up perfectly, and it sounds great. Now, there are better sounding speakers out there that I've heard, but for what I do with it, for the money I paid, and for the fact that you have a 5.1 system in here with a hidden subwoofer underneath that chair over there, it's like you don't even have one in here. All you really see is the 55-inch Vizio Smart TV mounted to the wall, but this room gets loud and it sounds great. Coming over to the system here in the closet, I have all the components mounted inside the closet. I'm not going to get involved in everything I have there, but that's basically my network attached scanner, a network attached printer, fax machine, and a bunch of other components there. So sorry guys, I'm starting to have to move fast here, but we're gonna bust this out here. And finally, over to the network closet. Basically, I have my router, a couple different 100 megabit switches here for the slower devices, a gigabit MyCloud drives. These are running 8 terabytes of storage. I have tons of movies and music on here. My Samsung SmartThings hub, and all this is connected to the Asus Rp Ac 3200 router. This is a beast of a router. I love it. Amazon Echo Connect. This allows me to make phone calls and receive phone calls to my Amazon Echo. So when somebody calls the house, they actually ring to the devices and I can answer it on any Echo in the house. phone system for faxing and calling like a second line. A couple different monitors showing you my security systems, which can also be viewed on the TVs. Of course, a secondary access point for slower devices. I had so many devices on my Switch. Whatever they tell you, really, a lot of these routers that are residential grade are really going to accept about 50 clients. And when you start getting close to that, you do start getting drop connections. I'm pretty good right around 52, but that's why I added this access point. I took an old WRT 54G, added DDWRT onto it. Allows me to convert it to an access point. I have some of the slower devices, like Sonoff switches, just hooked up to this because they don't really need bandwidth. All they really need is the command to turn on or off. Then, of course, we are Zomato NVRs, 2 500 gigabyte hard drives, constantly recording and cloud uploading for my surveillance system. And throughout the entire house and throughout the entire yard, front and back, there are security cameras constantly monitoring the house. I won't get involved in the security system because some things we just don't need to mention. Alright folks, that's about it. I ran you through that pretty quick. I hope I touched on a lot of the different devices that I have. Let me turn you back to me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry it went so fast. At a later date, I'll do 2 videos and combine them together and actually edit. But right now, I got 2 minutes to tell you. Thank you very much for watching the video. I'd like you to do a couple things. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop a comment. I'll be more than happy to help you on your quest for smart home tech. If you do have any kind of questions about buying this stuff, I'll put a link in the description where you can pick up all this stuff, whether it links you to a web page or links you directly to each item. I'll go ahead and do that. In addition to that, if you like the content, subscribe to the channel. I love sharing this stuff with you guys. I love watching other folks' videos. It's awesome to see all the different devices you can get out there. It's great to bring all this tech into your home and make your life convenient and more automated. Next is, if you do subscribe, click the bell to be notified anytime I upload a new video. And as always, guys, have a fantastic day. I look forward to receiving your comments on this, good and bad. And that's about it. Take care, folks. And cut. We got a minute to spare. Thanks again. Bye-bye.